שבת אחים גם יחד. יננאי, יננאי, יננאי נעמה טוב. יננאי, יננאי ומנאי. יננאי, יננאי שבת אחים. שבת אחים גם yachad. Let's light up the world, oh brothers and sisters, together with peace and love. Bring light to the world, oh sisters and brothers, and sing Hinei Matov. Hinei, Hinei, Hinei Matov. Hinei, Hinei, Umanai. Hinei, Hinei, Shevet Achim. Shevet Achim gam yachad. Yinenai, 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 Hinei Matov. Hinenai, Hinenai, Umanai. Hinenai, Hinenai, Shevet Achim. Shevet Achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, everybody. I'm Rabbi Daniel Schaefer, and honored to be joined tonight by our music educator, Josh Cohen, and our rabbinic intern and old friend, Naomi Gertland. We're missing Rabbi Berkman this weekend on her birthday weekend. You can send her good birthday wishes and let her know that it took 3 of us to replace her. So you are in good hands this evening. And I had a special experience this week heading into Shabbat. Because we were expecting almost 2 feet of snow tomorrow, it really required a lot of intention to be ready. And I think there is something about Shabbat that asks us to do that every week, but maybe we're really good at cooking all of our food and getting ready with all of our plans, or maybe we're not. Maybe we don't make the preparations we need. But I hope this week, all of us who are in New England and expecting the snowstorm did all that work to get ready for this big snowstorm. And I think the bonus for us is that it helps us get ready for Shabbat. We have everything we need. We don't have to worry about going out. We're all set with everything for this next 24 hours. And with that comes a sense of peace, a sense of calm, and a sense of ease. And we bring that in tonight with ritual, with song, and with community. And if you have your candles at home and want to bring them to the screen so we can light together, we can welcome in Shabbat together. The candle lighting blessing is on page 2. And as I light and we bring in the light of Shabbat, Josh is going to help us by leading us in the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kineshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lechad ligner lechad ligner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. We continue to welcome in Shabbat with Shalom Aleichem on page 24, welcoming in the angels of Shabbat.
Shalom Aleichem, Malechei Hasharet, Malechei Elyon, Mihi Melech, Malechei Hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malchei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malchei HaShalom, Malchei Elyon, Mehi Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malchei HaShalom, Malchei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Let's turn to page 13 for Romemu. I was talking about this song with Rabbi Schaefer, and this is my melody that I wrote, and it's the name of my album, Romemu, Exalt Adonai. And we were talking about how I came to this song, came to this prayer, came to this melody. And some of you may know different artists have different ways of approaching melodies, approaching prayers. And I write the melody first, and then I go and open up a Siddur and kind of find a prayer that inspires me. And I wrote this melody. I was really digging it, and I flipped through the Siddur, and I came to the page of Romemu, and these words kind of really jumped out at me and spoke to me. And then I put the two together, and now we have this Romemu, so please join me. You know your parts. Romemu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu, Veishtachavu, Veishtachavu, Lehar Kodsho. Sing it again. Romemu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu, Veishtachavu, 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 Lechar Kodsho, Ki Kadosh, Ki Kadosh, sorry, page 17. Ki Kadosh, oh, Ki Kadosh, Adonai Eloheinu, yeah, Ki Kadosh, Kadosh, oh, Ki Kadosh, Adonai Eloheinu, Romemu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu, Veishtachavu, Veishtachavu, Lechar Kodsho, Romemu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu, Veishtachavu, Veishtachavu, Lechar Kodsho.
Thank you, Josh. We turn to page 20 to welcome in Lecha Dodi, and as is our tradition, we'll sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And there is one thing that is maybe lost when we only do those verses, which is that hidden in the first letter of each stanza of Lecha Dodi is the first letter of the name of the person who wrote this beautiful piece of liturgy, Shlomo Alkabetz. And one of the things that I love, sometimes we create beautiful things in the world, but we're not really sure, will other people love them? Are we going to be proud of them? And he put his name in this. He made sure that people know who wrote it, and he made sure that he wouldn't be forgotten. And if you're one of those people who's maybe a little bit of shy to share your art, to share your wisdom, to share the good work that you do in the world, I hope that just noticing this and the way that it has stood for hundreds and hundreds of years gives you the courage to claim the good that you're doing in the world, to claim the beauty that you're creating, because you have no idea who's going to benefit and for how long it's going to have an impact on people. So we remember him and we welcome in Shabbat and the Shabbat bride on page 20, and we'll rise for the ninth stanza and turn to the doorway to welcome in Shabbat.
Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 1. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmi'anu el ha'me'echad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, V'shemo tiferet v'litchila la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 2. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor haberacha, merosh miketem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshava dechi la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 5. Itoreri, kiva orech kumehori, uri shir taberi, kavod Adonai alayich nigla la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise. Bori v'shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'v'zod ola, toch emunei am segula. Bori kala, bori kala. Ya la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Welcome to be seated. And we turn to page 22 for Psalm 92. And I'd like to just take a moment, if anybody wants to share a moment of awe or wonder this week, a moment where you experience the beauty of the world, and you want to take a moment to unmute and type into the chat and to let us know what that was. Anything that stood out for anybody this week that you want to share? I'll say for me, I went to Crane Beach last weekend up on the North Shore, which is just an incredible beach, and to see the ocean and the waves coming in and just this huge expanse of skyline was so inspiring, and it has stayed with me throughout this week, and I'm bringing it with me into Shabbat. Whatever those moments of inspiration were for you this week, we bring them in together and we join together either on page 342 or in the middle of page 22 for this line from Psalm 92.
I started my day out the best way with you, Rabbi Schaefer, and all of our friends at preschool at TCE bringing Shabbat. I'm very excited to keep bringing it in with all of you. So join me as we sing Ma Gadlu. Hallelujah first. Hallelujah. 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 Maganu Masechaya Meirod Amkum Machshavot Maganu Masechaya Meirod Amkum Machshavot. Sing any part you like. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Having warmed up our souls and our voices, we turn to the Ma'ariv service and the Baruch Hu on page 28. We rise in body or spirit, and we turn our hearts toward Jerusalem. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed. We're welcome to be seated. We're going to join together with our song to welcome in the evening, roll into dark, as we give thanks for God, who creates the cycles of nature and who brings on the evening.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, kol elor mipnei choshech. Kol elor mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei yom. Roll into dark, roll into light. בחושך, וחושך מפני אור, וחושך מפני אור.
Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Aravim. We continue on the top of page 32 with Ahavat Olam as we prepare to lead into the Shema.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Torah mitzvot chukim umishpatim otanu limadta Alkein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbenu ufkumenu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negeyomam v'layla negeyomam v'layla ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Ohev Amo Yisrael
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta ba'am v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'vlechtecha v'aderech u'shochbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiyot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem Emet. We give thanks for our freedom because we remember that our ancestors were enslaved and it took a miracle to free them. And so we don't take our own ability to walk through this world without oppression for granted. We sing the song of our redemption and we give thanks on page 40 with Micha Mocha. Next prayer, Hashkivenu, on page 42, is a mixture of a lullaby and a request for protection. And we're going to sing a special version tonight by Dan Nichols that we've sung a few times together on Friday nights. And that first word, Hashkivenu, means lay us down. Just picture myself like a little baby with God laying me down in bed, and then the protection that we're asking, both for ourselves, for the whole Jewish people, for the community, for Jerusalem and the whole world. We sing together the words that are on our screen, Hashkivenu.
Shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrinu. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu. L'chaim. Two more times. L'chaim. Last time.
We turn together to the words of the Amidah, the standing prayer, the central prayer in our tradition. And we take a few moments tonight to pray together the opening blessings, and then a few moments to either continue with the words in our liturgy or the words in our heart. And I invite you to use whatever prayers, whatever words are helpful tonight for you to connect to the divine. And we'll join together at the end with Osei Shalom, our prayer for peace. Please rise in body or spirit as we turn to page 46.
Han 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 Adonai. Han 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 Svatai Tivtach. Han 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 Ufi Agid. Ufi Agid Teilatecha. Please continue silently. say shalom bimroma. Page 62. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Say shalom bimroma. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Say shalom bimroma. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ve'imru amen.
Transition from our prayer for peace to our prayer for healing with Misha Berach on page 253. If you're offering a prayer of healing for a friend or loved one and you'd like to share their name in the chat, we're happy to read them out loud for our community. And as a community tonight, we're praying for the healing of Dahlia Bat Miriam, for Asher Daniel Ben Leah, for Honey Sachs, Hannah Bat Moshe, for Dina Rachel Bat Arya Vigalia, for Cassandra Warshawski, Chaya Blaima Bat Chaim Chia Vasilia Ruchel, for Jeffrey Colt, Joseph Siegel, Yosef Ben Herschel Beirut, and for Glenn Abub. We add the names of John Gaffigan, Liesel, Allen, Susan, Jerry, Bruce, Gloria Carrig, Patty's sister Anna, Steve Fromm, Harab Miriam Yael Bat Sarah Shalom Ben Sipora, Yonatan Ben Hodel, Chanalea Bat Shira Sipan, Aryeh Ben Miriam, Ann Lipscomb, the children in Brooklyn. We turn to the words of Misha Berach on page 253.
Sheberach Avoteinu Mekor May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And let us say
We pray for refuah shlema, a complete and speedy recovery for all those names shared and all those on our heart. It's my pleasure this evening to welcome our rabbinic intern, Rabbi Naomi Gertland, to share some words of Torah with us this evening.
Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom. It's good to see everybody. And thank you for giving me the honor of saying a few words of Torah tonight. What a week. These days, it feels like I get to the end of every week and say the same thing. For all our blessings, and we have so many, we are living in a time of stress and struggle when it can be hard to make sense of the world around us. When I start to feel defeated or depleted, I sometimes ask myself what it would have been like to live in Torah times. Putting myself inside the stories of the Bible sparks my imagination and opens me up to new perspectives. It also often makes me think that whatever hard circumstances I might be facing, people before me have faced similar and worse. I wonder how the ancient Israelites developed and maintained faith. After all, they were enslaved for 400 years and then brought out of Egypt in a protracted and traumatic process that entailed physical and spiritual hardship. They wandered the desert for another 40 years and had to fight many battles and face many difficulties along the way. They did all this without a sense of where they were going or what they were doing. They were powered by faith. This week's Torah portion, Mishpatim, gives us a powerful example of the kind of faith I'm talking about. In the Parsha, we find our ancestors having just received the Torah and starting to unpack its many rules and regulations, intricacies about crime and punishment and accidental harm and parent-child relationships, and much more. Although this is a people that is still just learning to be a holy community, they muster a lot of courage and earnestness in the way they take the teachings of the Torah on board. In Exodus chapter 24, verse 7, we read, Vayikach sefer haberit, vayikra be'ozne ha'am, vayomru, kol asher diber Adonai, na'aseh v'nishma. And he, meaning Moses, took the book of the covenant and he recited it for the people to hear. And they said, everything which God has said, we will do and we will understand. It seems a little backward. They didn't say, tell us all about it so we can figure it out and then we'll do it. Rather, they pledged to lead with action, trusting that the teaching that was given to them was right. And they'd come around to understanding it in the doing. Na'aseh v'nishma. We will do and we will understand. Sometimes we have to put our senses and our logic in the back seat and let faith take the wheel. In fact, I think of the embodied practice around saying the Shema in the same way. When we say the morning Shema, the blessing we say just before it is Ahava Rabbah. And toward the end of Ahava Rabbah, with eyes open, we declare, Be'emet lehodot lecha ulyachedcha be'ahava. Truly to thank you and to enact your oneness through love. Our instruction is clear, to praise and fulfill our holy obligation through love. We make the blessing and then we close our eyes and focus inward. Some people might pull their talit over their heads. Shutting out the world, we state our faith. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Listen, Israel. Adonai is our God. Adonai is oneness. Our tradition links the world of action to the world of faith here. But as with Na'aseh v'nishma, the order is counterintuitive. Or maybe not. As the folks who participated in my Pirkei Avot class discussed, it's not always clear which is the chicken and which is the egg. Action and faith go together and strengthen one another. Sometimes we need all the facts before we can move forward, but sometimes we can get so mired in mapping out the perfect plan that we never take the first step. When you're deciding to start a relationship or take a job or, I don't know, for instance, go back to school in midlife to become a rabbi, all the analysis in the world is for naught if you don't take action. There's one more example of the leap of faith that I want to give you tonight, possibly my favorite one. This one also comes from the liturgy, from the Tachanun prayer that some Jews recite on weekday mornings. Tachanun comes after the Amidah, and it's a chance to let it all out. Anything you haven't said, any lingering needs or sorrows, this is your moment. This is the moment when the floodgates are most open, the moment when God most hears our prayers. In fact, the Talmud teaches us on Baba Metzia 59a that even when the gates of prayer are locked, the gates of tears are open. Saying Tachnun, we allow our tears to flow, moving into a crouch in our chair or even lying on the floor as they did in ancient times. And after we've left it all on the field, we come out of it saying, V'anachnu lo neda ma na'aseh ki alech einenu. We do not know what to do, but our eyes are fixed on you. Just after we say, we do not know what to do, we stand up to say, but our eyes are fixed on you. This is a profound statement of faith, an admission that we have many more questions than answers, and a commitment that we will go forth with our eyes turned toward God for guidance. Faith is hard, and we can't ultimately know for sure what our suffering means. But faith can also be a balm to accompany us through our hardships, a thread to keep us tethered to our holy work, a goad to action. And in its turn, action can lead us to understanding our situation in a new way. If I may offer you a blessing tonight, it's that you feel that thread of faith holding you steady, no matter what the future brings your way. We may not know what to do, but we can stand up and look to the eternal, however each one of us may understand it, for guidance. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom and Yesher Koach, Naomi. I'm so glad you made that leap and went to rabbinical school, and we're all so grateful that you found your way back to us and that we have the opportunity to learn from you on this journey.
Thank you.
We move to the conclusion of our service with Aleinu on page 282. Please rise in body or spirit as we turn to the top of the page. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latit gedula liotzer b'reshit, shehu notei shamayim v'yosed haaretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim ima'al, u'shchinatu zo b'gopei meromim, hu Eloheinu ein od, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. You're welcome to be seated. Turn to Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. If you're remembering a loved one this Shabbat and you'd like to share their name in the chat, please take a moment to do so, and we'll share it aloud with everybody. And on the screen, you'll find the words of Mourner's Kaddish and our weekly yahrzeit list. As a community this evening, we remember Stanley Dryden, the devoted husband of Carol Dryden and loving father of Bruce and father-in-law of Audrey, and the cherished grandfather of Zachary Dryden. We remember Stephanie Beth Coates-Reamer, the wife of Bob Reamer, sister of Linda Coates-Presky and David Presky, mother of Adam and Mara and Bob, and grandmother of Hannah, Sophie, and Lila, and Dale Malabarda, the partner of Shelley Hurwitz. We also remember Charlotte Burson Berman, Luz Maria Salamanca, and Peter Feldman. For all those mentioned and all those on our hearts, we turn to Mourner's Kaddish on page 294, and we rise if it's our custom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yama divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon u'yomechon u'chaye techol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'izman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmeid kudsha barechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran b'yama v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama Rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing. I hope that you'll come back tomorrow and join Josh and I and members of TOS and Shir Hadash for Shabbat morning services, because I know you're not leaving the house, and it's not even worth shoveling at 10:30 in the morning because there's going to be a lot more snow. So come join us, come sing, bring your hearts, study some Torah with us. We're going to have a great time. And then come back next Thursday at 9 a.m. and join Rabbi Berkman for her class, Torah for the Heart and Mind. And we're very excited that next Shabbat, February 4th, we're going to be joined by Dr. Sharon Levine for our Ben Adler Health Talk, sponsored by TOS's Brotherhood. Dr. Levine is, of course, a member of TOS and the head of geriatrics at Mass General. And she is going to present on navigating elderhood, what matters most to you. And we're very grateful for Sharon, and we're very happy to welcome her. And that will be on Zoom next Friday. We're going to offer our blessing. Josh and I visit 6 classrooms for preschool. And so we say the Shabbat blessings 6 times, but there's something special about the 7th time, because 7 is a significant number in Judaism, and it's a sign of completion. And so I hope we never add any more classrooms or just take away any classrooms, because it feels really nice to be together and to say the blessings over the wine and the challah for the 7th time. We turn to Kiddush on page 5. We're welcome to rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu b'shabbat kodsho b'havad uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahavad uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Have some challah at home. Please join me in the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. And if you are on Facebook or TLS Live and you want to join us for Zoom to schmooze a little bit after services, please do. Josh, what are we going to close with this evening?
We're going to close with a TOS favorite, some Olam Chesed. And I have the words for us right here. Sing it out from wherever you are. Olam Chesed Yivaneh Tai-dai-dai Chesed Yivaneh Tai-dai-dai Olam Chesed Yivaneh Olam Chesed Yivaneh I will build this world from love. And you must build this world from love. And if we build this world from love, then God will build. Then God will build this world from love. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Naomi. And thank you, everybody.